Welcome viewers to the ultimate luxury showdown. What I have behind me here are three versions of the S-Class: a gas bi-turbo V8, an EQS580 all-electric sedan, and the mix of the two, a plug-in hybrid. We're gonna rate them today against one another. Gonna see what a range test is like, and we're doing it here in January. It's cold. We're gonna see how they accelerate against one another, how they perform on snow, and various other aspects of what makes each one of the S's the best in class, and which is the best S for you. So stay tuned. You're gonna not wanna miss this. The range test begins. We've got 100 kilometers ahead of us just to get to the airstrip. At that point, we're going to performance test the vehicles there. But we need to save enough to get back. That's another 150 kilometer commute all the way around Calgary's all new ring road and back into downtown. Here we go. Hey guys, so what's your range saying right at the second as we leave? Mine says 374 minimum, 503 maximum.
The S580 hybrid is 495 and 67 kilometers of pure electric.
The S580 is 412 kilometers. That's low. That is very low.
You're only about 35 kilometers more than my worst. So let's hope that yours gets better. Justin and Chris, do you guys have your seat massagers on?
In fact, I have some sweaty because you made me wear two coats.
Mine is on. I'm feeling relaxed.
By having Mazen be the lead driver, it's going to be a slow and painful death for all those behind him.
All right, so we are beginning the range test. We're leaving Mercedes-Benz downtown Calgary. I am in the S580, no hybrid, no batteries here, just a 4-liter V8 twin turbo hot V motor. We are headed to an airfield actually just south of Calgary where we're going to be doing some more tests on the 3 S-classes here. Right now I'm at 410 kilometers until an empty tank, which is not great. I'm gonna have to baby this thing in eco mode.
I have a general rule that we drive at least 110, maybe 120 on Stony.
Justin, we're doing this on a runway today to exercise how responsible Mercedes-Benz downtown Calgary is. And there's no way I'm gonna exceed the speed limit today. I'm actually gonna go probably 1 kilometer an hour under.
So then why did we just do 10 under on Bow Trail?
Because it's slippery outside, and that's what it dictates for when the road conditions are like this. It's slippery and we gotta be safe. So we're just about to cross Sarcee on Bow Trail, and I'm still at 100% in your face.
I've only used 1 kilometer of range right now, Maz. I'm coming.
Given I left the service department at 88% power because someone probably didn't charge the vehicle overnight, I have zero concern.
Well, Justin, you're charging your battery right now as we speak. This is working well for you.
I've added 1% back. I started at 88, I'm at 89.
Well, you'll be at 100% by the time we get to the runway.
So apparently I forgot to charge Justin's S580e to 100% last night. It wasn't sabotage or anything, but he does have the best chance of winning this. Starting out a little bit behind both of us, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I think the one person that has to watch out is Mazen. I'm still at 410 kilometers until an empty tank. I left at 411. This is great. The more I baby this thing, that is just gonna go up and up and up. And when I coast, actually, the engine shuts off. So I'm actually coasting down the hill right now at 0 RPMs, using 0 engine power at all. Now, I'm sure Mazen right now is trying to regen his battery.
Oh, this is some nice recuperation going on right here, boys. Really nice.
My engine isn't even running right now. I'm just coasting down this hill. Absolutely no pistons are moving at all.
How's the roar of that V8 right now, Chris?
About as loud as your motors up there.
Well, there's my point. You might as well just have an electric.
Nobody wants an electric.
Man, I've been recuperating the whole way down this hill. This is brilliant.
My gas mileage is getting better and better. I'm still at 411 kilometers. That's what I left the dealership with. Mazen's got to watch out. He's using power right now, and I'm not using anything. I'm up to 412 kilometers right now.
Guys, I have to say the ride of this car is epic. Like, you do not feel a single bump. You guys might see my wheels move when I hit a bump, but I don't feel anything in this car.
So Chris, are you gonna start driving or? You just got passed by a Corolla on the right.
What are we doing, 100 or 110? Let's set it right now.
The speed limit's 100, guys. We said we're gonna do the speed limit the whole way there.
I'm actually up to 415 kilometers in range. I'm actually gaining range right now, which is crazy.
So much for the Chinook. It's -10 outside. I'm hoping that things get a little warmer today, so it kind of helps my situation.
I was hoping it was gonna get colder today, so that would affect Mazen's battery a little bit more.
At this point in the journey, my fuel economy's gone up to 488 and I'm at 91%.
Oh man, that's something to worry about with Justin's hybrid. He's getting a lot of mileage. Now he's gonna keep his battery until later in the day for when we have to do an acceleration test. And I'm trying to save all my fuel because when I go to do that acceleration test, I'm gonna use a lot of fuel. But I'm gonna try and beat that EQS up there. I'm gonna get it everything I got. So we are currently doing 100 kilometers per hour. And we're gonna do a decibel reading in the car. Reading about 59 decibels right now. It's quiet. The only thing I'm hearing right now is the winter tires. After a long, boring drive, we're coming to the end of the first leg of our range test. We're arriving at an airfield just south of High River, where we're going to be performing a few additional performance tests, which is going to impact the range of all of our vehicles. We're kicking things off with an acceleration test. We're going to see which S is the fastest in the quarter mile.
Okay, here we are. We're on a runway and we're about to see what these three S's are all about. I am in the EQS580 4MATIC sedan. 516 horsepower, 631 pound-feet of torque, 5,883 pounds. Yeah, it's a little heavy, but I think even though I'm on the lowest traction part of the runway, I'm gonna probably have the quickest acceleration because the dual synchronous 385 kilowatt motors are going to do a fantastic job of actually transferring the power where it needs to be. My base price is $158,500, and that's before all the fantastic credits that we have available on the EQS580 right now. But from here, I'll let it go to the next vehicle that's only partially electric, and that's for Mr. Justin Edgar.
I'm driving the 2023 Mercedes-Benz S580 mild hybrid. This vehicle is equipped with a 3-liter inline-6 turbo plug-in hybrid engine that puts out 510 combined horsepower. It has a whopping 553 foot-pounds of combined torque. It does weigh 5,268 pounds, but has a 9G-tronic 9-speed automatic transmission, a 4MATIC system, and has a base price of $155,600.
This 2023 S580 4MATIC all-wheel drive has a 4-liter V8 twin-turbo motor with 496 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. That's made it to a 9G-tronic transmission. The overall weight is 4,700 pounds. The base MSRP is $155,000.
We're gonna see exactly who ends up taking the victor on this. And you know, Chris, I'd just like to know something before we start beating up on that bi-turbo V8. What's your range left right now to get home with?
My range is currently 564 kilometers.
I'm really curious to hear what that range turns out to be after we're done all of these performance tests.
What's yours there, big battery boy? I was wondering if you was going to ask. I mean, you kind of left me in the dark there. I'm 579 just in fuel and another 69 kilometers in electric. So, I mean, I'm somewhere flirting with 650.
That's awesome. You're like an S-Class with like a fuel tank as a canopy. It's really awesome. I've got 384 kilometers of maximum range remaining and 322 minimum. So we'll see which one of them is the most efficient at putting down the power. Guys, I couldn't get 1 ounce of traction off that line.
Yeah, so I put it in Sport Plus, and then I forgot to put it in drive.
Amateur. Chris, just remember D is for drive.
Buddy.
Guys, we need 3 runs. Each person gets a run on the middle location too, though.
How bad did I beat you?
It wasn't by much. I mean, we were super close to one another, but I mean, we're gonna see now that you're in the middle. I think you're gonna beat me for sure because I'm gonna have less traction, but that side, Justin's gonna get pummeled because that side is impossible to navigate off the line. Those ice patches on the right are brutal.
Down to 504 kilometers in range.
I'm still at 372. I had 397 when we got here. I told you, the charge is you guys are gonna roast your gas here.
I can't believe I didn't put it in drive. Really? And then it's nothing. I was like, oh man, what a rookie move. So if I'm over there, you're here, and Justin's where you are, does Justin beat me?
No, you'll still win because that car slows.
He loves it though. Look how happy he is in that little 6-cylinder. He is just listening to his like Christina Aguilera over there.
Hey Justin, what are you listening to? Kelly Clarkson?
All right, this will be the closest race of them all. Here we go. Oh, come on. Oh, spur that EQS. Spur the EQS. Oh, he's too fast. He's too fast. He is way too fast. Wow. Yeah, that EQS knows how to launch. Yeah, you're pretty quick over there, bud.
Do you know what speed you got up to? I got up to 187.
I was too busy looking the back of your bow wing.
Justin, where were you? Were you actually with us on that last race?
I think Justin wanted to go get some groceries or something.
Justin, when you went to get groceries when we were on the last race, can you tell us what the special is today? Like, do they have, what's in season?
You do a quarter-mile race in that car and we'll see who wins. You got a very, very scared driver in that car presently.
Little does Mazda know, I didn't go all the way over to the left-hand side, so I'm actually more in the center. So I'm gonna hook up real well. Let's go. I got the hybrid. Sticking with Maz. He's not that far away.
Woo! 181.
That side's not so bad. I was right with you.
Chris, either you're really good at launching on that slippery surface or we really wore it down after those last 3 runs.
I actually didn't go that far over. I stayed on the right-hand side and then launched it out of it.
Well, there you have it, boys.
Moving on to the handling test, we've set up a 2.5 mile long slalom style drag strip. We're going to see what these 3 vehicles have to offer in the handling.
Hey, Justin, you're gonna have to do the same thing. I would suggest maybe switching it up a bit instead of going with, maybe go with Katy Perry for this one on the stereo.
Stay on the track, hybrid to the attack. $125,900.
Let's see what this V8 hot turbo can do. All right, 2, 3. Okay, hit one line. Not hitting any lines right now. Try and keep constant speed. Constant speed. I don't have rear wheel steering, which is not a bad thing. Handling quite well right now. Got to beat Mazin to 128. I'm gonna pick up the pace a little bit here. Doing about 110. Feels pretty good. Feels great. Coming to the end though. Oh, Jesus. Don't have much room to turn around. Ooh, coming in hot, coming in hot, coming in hot, coming in hot. Yeah. Almost lost it. And here we go, here we go. Lost a few seconds there. Gotta make up some time here. Make up some time. Got a little squirrely. Oh, got squirrely. Trying to keep it as straight as possible. Oh, man. Gotta beat EQS, gotta beat EQS. Gotta beat EQS. Trying to keep it as straight as possible. There's not a lot of room at the other end. I almost went into the bushes.
Who was the fastest of the three, Justin?
Well, the EQS took obviously the fastest speed. I like to think I had a disadvantage given the black ice on the highway, but when we didn't mix it up, I have to give credit to the EQS. It really, really off the line was very quick.
Couldn't catch it. Couldn't catch it off the line. The S580 was close. It was always kind of right at your rear bumper, but couldn't catch you in the long run.
Now let's talk about the actual slalom. Obviously, that was a lot of fun. As in the EQS, when you were driving it, the first thing Chris and I said when we were on the walkie-talkie is, oh my God, look at that thing go. It took off. It was so smooth, so crisp, so fast. You hit that first turn, I thought you were going to actually take off the runway, and you held it.
The rear steer is really what held it. It was very quick for responses. A lot of people talk about the rear active steer can feel a little bit weird, a little bit odd. In this particular application, I actually found it to be the most natural feeling vehicles I've taken through a slalom before, because the vehicle didn't feel like it needed to rotate. It actually did a fantastic job of just coming left and right and left and right, and it really did a great job of masking that heft of 5,888 pounds, which was more than 1,000 pounds heavier than Chris's S580.
Yeah, and the S580, not having any rear wheel steer, I was struggling. I was struggling big time, especially when I got to the end, hit a little bit of black ice, and it would not turn at all. Ooh, coming in hot, coming in hot, coming in hot, coming in hot. Justin, how was the hybrid?
I mean, I was blown away. That inline six, I apologize, really had a lot more get up and go than I anticipated, but it was incredibly controlled. The 4.5 degree rear steer really helped it going into the turns and maintaining the turn as I found my next angle. But I was very impressed that I was able to get the times that I did up against a big V8 and obviously an electric.
I thought it was going to be a major disadvantage having to scrub off all that speed in a hurry with all that weight. But the recuperation helped to slow me down really quickly. The brakes are massive on the EQS580. Active steer, or the rear active steer, was amazing at just spinning me right around and taking me right back in the other direction as quickly as possible. Catapulting right out of that U-turn with 631 pound-feet of torque was incredible. We kept the ESP on at all times, so it was really amazing to see the Mercedes-Benz ESP programming do its job to actually maintain the balance of the vehicles and keep us safe throughout the whole thing. But I think the EQS really blew me away with the speeds that it got up to when we were doing the quarter-mile run, and I came off the first stretch doing 187 kilometers an hour in a quarter mile. Was pretty amazing.
Now let's see if you can even make it better.
Well, this is going to be the challenge. So we have 148 kilometers remaining. Now my vehicle is saying right now, the EQS is saying that my minimum range is 230 kilometers, and the temperatures are dropping really quickly. We're going to be driving into the headwind, and that is not going to be a good scenario because, as I learned from the road trip, headwinds are not very favorable for electric vehicles. Neither is winter driving, neither is highway driving. But so far, the EQS has really exceeded my expectations for the winter driving. I was expecting the worst, and if anything, I was keeping a number handy for a tow truck and roadside assistance today, but we'll see how it goes. What's the mileage remaining on your?
I think it's 240.
240, that's a big drop. Okay.
475.
All right, the hybrid gets it there, but 230 is
I gotta double check.
230, so you're about the same as the EQS.
I lied.
And I knew that the S580 was gonna chew range when we got here. However, you do have a benefit of going back into eco mode for the way back.
100 kilometers here, 170 back, a couple miles on the track. Good luck. After the performance test at the beautiful private airstrip in southern Alberta, we're going to continue our range test where we're going to put on over 150 kilometers to get back to Calgary. On our track, we're going to use the brand new ring road. We're going to be battling against Calgary's rush hour traffic, and the temperatures are going to start to plummet. We're going to be using depleted batteries and fuel sources and see if the three vehicles can make it back.
Okay, I'm down to 192 minimum, maximum's 260. What's yours at, Chris?
Currently at 415 kilometers left.
I'm going 105 kilometers an hour on 110, getting passed by pig trucks and cattle trucks and Toyota Camrys. And I can't even see my partners in the distance. Embarrassing.
So the goal now is for us to get back to the dealership with the most kilometers remaining, where Maz and I believe is down on like 200 kilometers right now, and I believe we have about 140K to go. So, and the temperature's dropping outside too, so that's going to affect Mazen the most of the three S-classes here. Justin's probably in full hybrid mode right now. I think he can do about 90 kilometers on strict EV electric driving. So he's going to use that, and then that's not really going to affect his long-term range when it comes to his fuel consumption. I'm going to try and baby this thing all the way home.
How's your guys' decibel reading right now?
Lowest I can get right now, Maz, is 62. But I feel like I got a lot of wind noise.
I'm fluctuating between 62 and 67, so I think you're probably right. It's probably the wind.
Yeah, it's very windy out right now. Right before we left, it looked like the wind was coming out of the north, which we're traveling north right now. And so that means that's going to be affecting Mazen's range quite a bit. Now, Mazen's pretty smart following me. He's gonna tuck in behind me as much as he can, trying to get a slipstream off the back of me. Maybe, if anything, I should get him to come in front. Hey, Maz, I see you're trying to get closer here to me. Are you trying to get a slipstream to increase your miles?
I'm drafting you right now, and it's working fantastically well because I got a 0.2 drag coefficient that's helping as well.
I think you should go in the middle, bud.
What are you trying to do, save those MPGs?
How you doing for mileage, Maz?
I have 149 minimum remaining and a maximum of 212.
149? That's gonna be close.
I asked Mercedes, hey Mercedes, how much kilometers am I gonna have when I get to the store? And she said, don't worry about it.
It's more so, will Mazen make it to the store?
I'm actually feeling pretty confident right now.
We're currently back in Calgary. We're in the southeast. Range update, we're at 476 kilometers to an empty tank. Absolutely amazing.
I just got a piece out from a Honda on my left. He was waving at us.
And we've got a minimum range of 128 and a maximum range of 182.
Combined, I'm still over 500.
Fantastic, and it's snowing.
And dropping, it's minus 11.
Okay guys, so I have 124 kilometers remaining. From here to the boat trail exit, it's another 54 kilometers away. I mean, by all calculations, I'm thinking I'm gonna arrive with anywhere between 70 and 80 kilometers remaining. Pretty impressed by the range.
That means I should arrive with roughly 400 kilometers range. Wow, that's amazing. And that's still 3/4 of a tank of fuel.
Considering the temperatures today, how the EQS was driven on the runway, and the fact that it was beating everybody in the process, I think this has been quite a feat for it. I don't think we could have made it more difficult than we did today.
The only thing that would have been more difficult if it was colder outside. And I gotta say that EQS can really, really accelerate off the line.
As in, you may have spoke way too early because we're about to go into some serious bumper to bumper.
Oh, we are backed up.
And this is where an electric vehicle will really perform well. The slower we travel, the more traffic that we're in, the less charge that I end up using. However, you guys are going to have to idle your motors to maintain it. And that is going to require more consumption for you. Coasting for you two is a lot better than it is for me.
I would have to disagree about the U2 comment because I'm going into hybrid mode effective now.
Oh, hybrid mode. Launch hybrid mode, Justin.
Are you going to hybrid mode or are you driving in full-on EV mode?
I'm in hybrid mode right now, so as we come to a standstill, the battery will kick in. I'm saving my EV until we basically cross over Beacon, because I figure that'll be 53 kilometers all the way back in the EV.
Oh, Justin is saving his battery. Smart man. So he is in hybrid mode right now while we are stuck in this bumper-to-bumper traffic. Every time Mazen has to get on and off his accelerator, it's actually using up more charge than it is for us. So it's going to be interesting to see how this affects Mazen's range.
Well, 4:34 p.m. and I'm now fully electric.
Okay guys, I got my EQ intelligence dialed in. It says we got 89 kilometers until we arrive to the dealership, and I got a minimum of 111 of range.
So Mazen has 30% of his charge remaining. So he's used 70% of his charge today. I haven't even used a quarter tank of gas.
The crosswind, the headwind with this little blizzard that we got going through, and the fact that the temperature is dropping, I think that's why the numbers keep changing. I think I should arrive with a minimum of 50 kilometers left.
That's pretty good.
Hey guys, something just alerted me. I tried to put it into full electric mode and it said outside temperature is too cold, and I cannot put it into electric mode now.
Well, that's interesting. So you're truly driving a heavy 6-cylinder now.
That is amazing. So Justin cannot put it into full electric.
I'm back on battery hold, so it's just recuperating the battery in case I ever get to use it. But right now at a minus 11.5 ambient temperature, It is no longer a mode that I can click.
Wow, that is interesting. So Justin cannot put it into full battery mode.
So you're probably wondering why Justin's S580e would not allow him to enable electric drive mode. Well, that's because the plug-in hybrid does not share the exact same heating and battery cooling technology as the full electric EQS. It actually has a coolant system that is shared with the primary drivetrain, which is the inline turbocharged 6-cylinder motor. In the event of extremely low or high temperatures, the plug-in hybrid system is set up to protect the battery by not using it and to maintain an optimal temperature for the primary drivetrain, which is the gas motor. It's quite interesting. I'm currently sitting at 86 kilometers of minimum range, and it's saying that we're 24 kilometers away from service.
I'm currently at 473 kilometers left.
That's actually the one of the big success stories of the day is the highway capability of the S580, because you started with 413 kilometers and you're coming back with 470 based on its driving habit.
It's very, very impressive, and that number keeps going up.
Yeah, it says electric drive program currently unavailable due to outside temperature.
Okay guys, we are 8.4 kilometers from service right now. What's your range remaining, Chris?
I'm at 468K remaining.
That's pretty incredible. I mean, you started with 413. Justin, where are you at?
I can't make this up. I'm also at 468. I have 424 gas and 44 electric.
Oh my God.
I have a minimum of 65 and a maximum of 97.
Now keep in mind, I haven't been able to use my all electric capacity because I just learned, and I think we all learned, at about -12, it's shut off. Now it might be frozen because of the track or whatnot, but the reality is I'm not concerned by it. I'm just driving in gas, but I could only imagine what my range would be if I was able to use electric mode when I was going to way back in about Applewood.
So it's neck and neck right now between the S580 and the S580e. It's only neck and neck because Justin can't go into full EV mode right now. He was planning on using that right at the end. And I have to say that EQS does look good at night with the ambient lighting outside, the LEDs in the front, that LED light that goes right across the front grille. That is a good looking car.
We are driving in -22 weather. I'm in an electric vehicle that happens to be the EQS580. We got off onto Bow Trail with I had 19%. I'm at 18% right now, and it's not really changing. I think the regen's been doing a big part of that. But I mean, I would have put more power back in, but I think the challenge with that right now is, of course, it's doing a lot to keep everything heated from the battery to the interior. But wow, I'm really impressed after everything we put this thing through today. The fact that it's still got 63 kilometers of range right now remaining.
I double dog dare you to put the rear defroster back on.
Okay, I wish I could send you a picture right now, but it's actually on. The rear defroster has been on the whole time, and the reason is I need to see. And that blast of the blizzard that we just ran through, I had to run the defog on the windshield at full blast, because I don't know about you guys, but my window went completely like iced up in a second.
Can't say we had that problem in the S580.
Chris, your window, I'm like right behind you, and kind of looks, the window's fogging up pretty bad in the windshield there.
No, it's just because I use my wipers.
My car is pretty darn good.
Yeah, mine's been absolutely amazing.
Not gonna lie, guys, I kind of wanted a bit of drama and wanted to roll in on the reserve charge, which I know kicks in at 14%, but I'm just 4% above that, so I don't think we're gonna get there.
Put it in Sport Plus.
It's not gonna change anything at these speeds. Honestly, it's not gonna change anything at all.
Don't forget, I started with 90% and 488 kilometers.
So what's your battery at now, Justin?
54%.
But you can't use it.
I cannot use it. It's been at 54% since we left the airfield.
I haven't moved off of 18% since we exited Stony on the Bow Trail. Like, this has just been all regen.
It's all downhill right now, Maz.
Okay, guys, so we made it. 17% remaining in the EQS 580. That's equivalent to a minimum of 60 kilometers and a maximum of 88 kilometers. And we put it through hell and back today. So quite impressed overall.
Mazen, you made it.
Yeah, And actually, you know what? I have to say, I was genuinely impressed with the range. I arrived, there was a minimum of 60 kilometers left, a maximum of 88 kilometers left. You told me we did 251 kilometers today, of which it was all either highway in the winter. It got down to minus 22 in a blizzard on the way back. And then we went ahead and ripped it up and down a 1.2 mile long runway, to which it was the undefeated champion of. However, the car that I was really impressed with was the S580e.
I mean, we ended up finishing with 430 kilometers remaining, plus 44 of electric. A couple hiccups we learned about while we were driving, but it absolutely blew my mind. And of course, I was new to it, so I didn't even potentially have it in the right settings that was necessary. But probably some times where I had it in brake hold versus having it in hybrid mode or full electric mode that I missed out on those opportunities, that would come with ownership. But driving it in that condition, that distance for the first time ever, I was absolutely blown away.
What else also impressed me, and this is part of our cylinder deactivation technology, but the S580 that you drove, you came back with more range than what you started with?
467 kilometers. It was very impressive. The dinosaur over here that started out the day with 413 kilometers, made it back with 467. Eco mode the entire day, except for when we were doing the quarter mile and the slalom. So Sport Plus all the way. Amazing vehicle, great on the highway. Cylinder deactivation, ran with 4 cylinders for most of the day, but still, we had massage seats on all day. We had the seat heaters. It was very comfortable for all of us.
All the lights, all the heat, all the defrosters.
Yeah,
3 amazing vehicles.
There are 3 amazing vehicles. I mean, if you're looking for a really fast, fun gas vehicle, you're not ready for an electric, or you're not looking for a hybrid or anything along those lines, the S580 is your vehicle. It can actually do incredible numbers in terms of range, given the fact of what Chris just stated, and the fact that it's not a hybrid, it's a mild hybrid with the electric starter generator. You can jump right in and go full electric with the EQS580 with this lowest drag coefficient of any production vehicle at 0.2. Yes, highway travels on an electric vehicle are a challenge. Yes, winter driving on an electric vehicle are a challenge. However, this vehicle today, after everything that we put it through, really had a remaining range of approximately 310 to about 360 kilometers of range overall, and we put it through a lot to make it happen that. But the real success story of this all is the one that lets you have your cake and eat it too, and that is the hybrid with training wheels. Justin, was there anything in particular that stood out to you about the vehicle?
I'm gonna have to sell a lot of people on the fact that it is an inline 6, because it sounds, when you put it in sport mode, like a V8. It feels like a V8, it handles like an actual sport vehicle. But the refinement on the highway, I mean, it was so quiet, so relaxing, so comfortable. It's everything you want in an S-Class with the fuel efficiency of a C-Class. It just blew my mind.
And I think for most people, I mean, particularly our client base, you could easily drive this vehicle every day on electric just by charging it at home, go do your daily commutes. You've got 77 kilometers, 80 kilometers of range. I mean, really nobody's doing that in a day. So that's pretty awesome overall. But, you know, one thing that's really impressive, you know, for me having done a road trip in the GLS, and I remember you telling me to put it in eco mode before, but the S580 is really amazing. For a vehicle that puts down nearly 500 horsepower, to deliver those types of numbers today was...
Yeah, the performance is there. When we were doing the quarter mile, yeah, the EQS does get that initial jump, but the S580 is right there behind it and stays with it the entire way. So it's nice to know you have that performance there, but at the same time, when you're on the highway, you put it in eco mode and you're great. 4 cylinders.
So if you're buying a car, which one are you buying?
It'd be a tough choice between the two, but seeing how the price points are the same, I'd go for the EQS580.
Perfect. Chris, you're buying one. Which one are you buying?
I'm probably gonna go with the S580e. Right, it's a step in the right direction. I'm not ready for the EQS yet. Range is just not there. You know, coming back with 70K left, right? It's just not there. Yourself?
S580e. I mean, I love the EQS. My wife's next vehicle is likely going to be an EQS 580 SUV or 450, one of the two. But the reality is for my everyday driving, my mentality, kids, whatever it is, I love the fuel efficiency. I love that I could put it in electric mode. I would probably drive in electric mode 80% of the time, but I love that in-between vehicle, and it's something that I think could also be part of the future. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there where By 2035, you have to have electric or hybrid being the thing that oftentimes gets forgotten in those conversations. I think it's a brilliant vehicle.
It's the best of both worlds.
But it does have an Achilles heel, and that is the trunk. Carrying a battery and a fuel tank gives you the smallest trunk of the three.
Still a big trunk.
Having a lift back in the EQS580, which I love, I truly love, gives you the most versatile trunk of the three. I mean, everyone knows me that I'm a massive wagon lover. This is as close as I'm gonna get to an EQS wagon. I'm a big fan of this. The S580 has a massive trunk itself. However, it's not a lift back. It does have less trunk space than the EQS580. True test, guys. We really wanna tie this off today? Here's what we need to do. Each one of us gets in the trunk of each one of these cars and sees how much space there is. And whoever can put the most people in one trunk has the most versatile vehicle from a capacity perspective.
What
Okay,
are
all right.
going on?
Justin, you gonna make it in here?
You coming in, Jess?
No?
No?
Okay, well, as much as I've enjoyed being the big spoon here, I think it's time that we get out.
Is that a tire iron?
You know these things don't have a spare. Justin, how tall are you?
Just over 6 foot.
Okay, let's see if you can fit in the trunk of your S580. Let's be really clear here. We're not trying to promote that S-classes are really ideal vehicles for Mafia members, but if you did want to buy one, you need to know if you can fit at least one body in the trunk. Justin?
Or
right
a
ahead.
golf bag.
Shoulders are a little tight.
Let's see. Let me just do you the favor of closing it like you did for us on the EQS. At least you don't have Chris to snuggle up to. So, can you fit one more in? Can you get Chris in there?
No,
You sure?
I'm positive he's not welcome.
Okay. Chris, you're going in the S580.
Well, he can fit.
I know I can fit.
Well, we know you can fit, but let's see what he looks like in the trunk of the S580. Justin gets to be small spoon with you on this one here.
I can't fit.
No, it's all
Fit in
good.
there?
I can't fit in there.
Well, I got to close the trunk first too. So you're admitting that you can't fit in there. We can't fit more than one person in the trunk of the S580?
We won't fit me in there with him.
Okay. But we fit me, who I'm slightly
bigger
taller
trunk.
than you.
It's a bigger trunk.
Right.
It's a hatchback.
So, best trunk, it's a hatchback. It's a liftback. Don't
Sure.
try to knock it. It's a liftback.
It's a hatchback.
So, once again, another reason why my favorite pick of the three is the EQS580 sedan.
What are you gonna put in there? You don't play sports.
No, but it is very practical to have a hatch, which is why the majority of people buy SUVs. And this truly gives you the best of both worlds. I hope you enjoyed today's video. We really had a lot of fun making it. We hope we helped you with your next car buying decisions, whether or not you want to go with an electric.
Plug-in hybrid.
Or gas.
Please like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications to get more information from Mercedes-Benz downtown Calgary, because we're always going to have a lot of fun vehicles, and we just started 2024 and you haven't seen anything yet.